This is the black box of an airplane, but it's not black at all. Instead, it's a bright orange-red. Whenever the term black box enters public view, it usually signals an air disaster. On October 8, 2020, a passenger jet flying from Dubai to Paris crashed tragically in the Alps. All 300 passengers and 16 crew members were killed. Immediately after the crash, France's Bureau of Inquiry and Analysis for Civil Aviation Safety, BEA, launched an investigation. But Mathieu, a top analyst with extraordinary hearing, a true genius, was excluded from the team. For accident recordings that stumped everyone else, he could pinpoint the key issue after just overhearing it once or twice. The problem? Mathieu was obsessed with technical analysis and completely lacked social skills. So it's no surprise his supervisor refused to take him along. Modern commercial airplanes typically have two black boxes, the cockpit voice recorder, CVR, and the flight data recorder, FDR. Extracting data from these helps technicians determine the cause of equipment failures or crashes. Shortly after this disaster, both black boxes from the downed jet were recovered. The data extraction was personally overseen by Mathieu's supervisor. They quickly removed the outer steel casing, then peeled off multiple protective layers designed to withstand impact, heat, and moisture, successfully retrieving the core circuit boards. Mathieu could only watch as a bystander, and he wasn't even given a chance to participate in the subsequent data analysis. He thought he'd missed the biggest air crash investigation of his career, but fate took a sudden turn. The day after the black box data was analyzed, his supervisor suddenly went missing. With a press conference scheduled for that night, the black box data severely damaged, and no one else capable of taking over, the analysis work naturally fell to Mathieu. By then, most of the flight data was lost, leaving only the cockpit voice recorder to reveal what happened. But Mathieu noticed the voice device seemed to be interfered with, creating noise, so the pilots had taken off their headsets. Even though the subsequent audio was very blurry, he still deciphered a phrase from the distorted sound, Allahu Akbar. The evidence was weak, but the press conference was imminent, so BEA had to tentatively classify the crash as a terrorist attack. Mathieu speculated the suspect was likely hiding in the bathroom at the front of the plane and broke into the cockpit while flight attendants were serving meals. After the press conference, the media quickly found a Muslim male on the passenger list, and all suspicion fell on him. However, it didn't take long for Mathieu to discover inconsistencies. One of the victims had left a voice message for her husband before the crash. The end of the message, when the crash occurred, was actually 3 minutes later than what the black box recorded. Additionally, airplane announcements could be heard in the message, but they were missing from the black box recording. These conflicting data points made Mathieu doubt his earlier judgment, but his superiors dismissed it as just damage to the black box and didn't pay much attention. Mathieu's work was going poorly, but his girlfriend Noemi was thriving. Noemi was a senior executive at the European Aviation Safety Agency and was about to jump ship to Adrian Aerospace Manufacturing. Coincidentally, the crashed plane was an Adrian 800, built by that very company. But Mathieu had no time for that, his only focus was the many doubts surrounding the crash. Back at the research center, Mathieu first studied the layout of the wrecked plane, then replayed the cockpit voice recording repeatedly. The scene before the crash gradually replayed in his mind. His thoughts followed the suspect, but something was off. The plane was serving meals at the time and also encountering turbulence. Under such circumstances, flight attendants would definitely have asked the man to return to his seat, meaning he couldn't have hidden in the bathroom in advance.